What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we have another cool carded figure offering for you today. Hanging out down here in our museum on a Friday. Just relaxing. Taking it easy, guys. And having some fun. And for your viewing pleasure today, we'd like to bring you all the way from 1998, our G.I. Joe U.S. Army, Vietnam. This is back when G.I. Joe was really hitting on all cylinders with its box figures, its sets, and the carded figures were as equally as beautiful and well thought out as anything that Hasbro was putting out for G.I. Joe at the time. I mean, I was so mesmerized and I'm so in love with the fact that G.I. Joe was back on the scene that I was scooping up all the 12-inch G.I. Joe figures. It was very difficult for me to leave any G.I. Joe figure on a toy store shelf behind. If I didn't have it, I had to have it. And this was a really cool figure. I don't know, the basic carded figures, I really love those figures. I really love those figures. And as you can see, the card has so much beautiful artwork on it. And these are real photos here of the actual Joes. And you have this more of a 3D type of setup for G.I. Joe. The card is inside. It's encased inside this plastic. So that's going to keep that card protected, and has kept this card protected for well over 20 years. It's about around 21 years old now. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. This is what we're doing. We're just hanging out today. We got some G.I. Joe videos for you and stored for you. We got some more fun, some more big announcements coming your way. But we want to get things kicked off here in 2019 with another really cool G.I. Joe offering. Our first G.I. Joe offering of 2019 is our 1998 G.I. Joe U.S. Army, Vietnam. They say sometimes less is more, and in this case, they're absolutely right. You have this G.I. Joe. It comes with a beautiful brown T-shirt, green pants, black boots, this beautiful M16, the old potbelly helmets that I love. And you can see he's got a lot of padding inside that helmet. Beautiful head sculpt. This was the new recruit head sculpt that was brand new back in that time period. This is a head sculpt that that Hasbro introduced. But I love that helmet. Let's turn the card around. This card is in fantastic condition. I keep this card in our archives, actually. Just got a little bend right here at the top, but other than that, it's fine. It was like that when I actually bought it. I always pick the best card I possibly could find because I know I have no intention on taking it off the card. And now, you know, this is a museum piece now. Let's get you a blown out shot here. This back of the card here. Let's get you a year. 1998. Even back then you could join the Collectors Club. And then they had all these awesome little, you know, they had the Foot Locker, Weapons Depot, Korean soldier set, Vietnam soldier set, and the Sandbag motor set, Motar set. Now, the reasoning and the logic behind the basic figure cards is that Hasbro wanted to really, they wanted to cater to all of the demographics. And you had people, collectors that had big budgets. You had collectors that had little budgets. You had families that just wanted to buy a toy for their kid, and they needed a budget too. So as opposed to walking into a toy store and purchasing a figure for $40, $50, $60, $70, this figure was about $19, $20, if not less. I think it might have been around 15, 16. So that's a great price. It's easy on the wallet. You know, a mom or a father could purchase any one of these basic carded figures, and later could come back and buy some accessories, cards. Now you have a big time action figure. Here on the back here you have backstory of the U.S. Army, Vietnam. You can pause your video if you want to check that out. Guys, what do you think of our U.S. Army Vietnam figure? Do you have this guy? Are you looking for this guy? He's not $15 anymore. After 20 years, he's collected some collectability factors. I wouldn't, in my opinion, my professional opinion, I wouldn't go any higher than maybe $40 or $50 for this figure. And that's just, you know, I've seen him on eBay, but once again, something is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it. You know, an old collector told me that decades ago. It's only truly worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. So I've had people want to purchase some of my G.I. Joe figures. All of our figures, guys, are museum examples. I do have duplicates of some. Like I said, if I really like a figure, I'll buy multiples. You guys know that. But for the most part, these figures are for museum examples. You know, to be enjoyed by our viewership, our subscribers, fans of G.I. Joe. They're for historical, educational purposes now. It is just a beautiful. I look how beautiful and simplistic this figure really is. But more importantly, I can't say this enough. This is why I am a MIB collector. The full potential, the full beauty truly could not be enjoyed about this figure if it was not on its card. to see this figure intact the way it was purchased off a toy store shelf back in 1998 really just blows my mind. Perfectly preserved for well over 20 years. I've had people ask me, well, just, why don't you take anything off the card? I truly can't enjoy it like that, guys. This card has just as much historical significance as the figure that it houses. Don't want to sound like a broken record, guys, but I keep getting that question. And I think it's a lot from our newer subscribers and our newer viewers that stop by the channel and see it, and see these figures encased in their packaging, and they just don't understand what our mission here is at the museum. So bear with me, guys. From time to time, I'm going to state our museum mission from time to time, just to help the new subscribers to the channel and our new viewership that stops by to visit the museum. I know I've had one subscriber said, it should be well understood that if he's calling his channel a museum, that should be enough to understand why these artifacts aren't being taken out of their original packaging. But, a lot of people don't understand that. They're viewed as toys. So, but guys, we know, being in a museum, if you ever visited a museum, that everything is kept perfectly preserved, whether it has a packaging or not, or encased in something or not. It's all protected, and that's one of our goals here at the museum, is to really protect these beautiful artifacts. Look at the simplicity. This is well before the articulate bodies and the muscle bodies. Then Hasbro started to add that a little bit, 2-3 years later. But it's got the classic collection hands. Just a beautiful figure. Guys, we'd like to thank you for hanging out with us today. You know the routine. God bless. And keep collecting.